A man walks into a cage and greets a pet monkey named Ben. The man is a doctor and is there to give the monkey some medication. The doctor keeps talking, trying to make the room less tense as he prepares the syringe for Ben's injection. By the time he turns around, he realizes Ben is no longer there. When he looks around, he finds Ben hiding in a dark corner, whimpering. The doctor picks up Ben's teddy bear and tries to comfort him while handing it over. Ben reaches out, quickly grabs the man's hand, and pulls him inside as the man screams. Ben then rips off his face. The scene shifts to 36 hours earlier, and we see a young girl named Lucy as she makes her way into a plane. There, she meets her best friend Kate, and they talk to Lucy's little sister on the phone. The little sister is angry at Lucy because she has been away from home studying all this time and never bothered to visit. Lucy tries to reassure her, promising that once she's back, they will spend a lot of time together. After the call, another girl, Hannah, boards the plane. She has an electric personality, and Kate confesses that she invited Hannah along. Lucy isn't very thrilled about it, but decides to let it slide. They eventually arrive at their destination, and Kate runs to greet her brother, Nick. It is revealed that Lucy, Kate, and Nick have been friends for a long time. They leave and drive to Lucy's house. Lucy meets her dad, Mr. Adam, who is a famous deaf author. They greet each other, with Adam saying it's great to have her back and asking about her studies. Lucy answers enthusiastically and introduces Hannah as the new friend Kate brought along. Eventually, Nick greets Adam and they catch up. Adam asks Nick about his girlfriend, and Nick responds that they broke up. Adam uses sign language to tell Lucy that now would be a great time to get closer to Nick, but she brushes it off. Adam also reveals that he will be traveling for work, but promises to return soon. Lucy then heads to her little sister's room. Her sister, Erin, is still upset that Lucy stayed away for so long. Lucy apologizes and brings out a teddy bear, the same teddy bear from the beginning of the movie. Just then, a hand reaches out and grabs it, revealing that Ben belongs to Adam's family. Lucy and Ben greet each other, and we see that Ben is smart enough to type simple words and use sign language. Afterward, Lucy introduces Ben to Hannah. The monkey spooks Hannah, who wasn't expecting a monkey as a pet, but after calming down, she eventually shakes Ben's hand as a greeting. Later that evening, Hannah walks around the house and comes across a picture of Lucy's mom. Nick joins her and they talk. Nick explains that Lucy's mom died of cancer a year ago. She was a linguist who focused on communication between humans and chimpanzees, which is how they adopted Ben. Their conversation builds tension as it becomes clear that Hannah has a crush on Nick. Nick eventually walks away, and Hannah continues her tour down to the swimming pool. As she admires the clear water, Ben appears beside her. He makes a growling noise that startles her. She calls out to him, but the monkey seems to be in a trance, with snot and saliva gushing from his mouth. Ben eventually snaps out of it and calms Hannah by shaking her hand. Unexpectedly, he grabs her hand tightly, and she begins to scream. Just as things are about to get worse, Adam intervenes with a whistle, calming Ben down and forcing him to release her. Adam apologizes, saying the chimp can act strangely around strangers before leading Ben away. Although Hannah is shaken, she pretends to be fine. Adam takes Ben to his cage and finds a dead mongoose inside. He examines Ben and discovers a bite mark. He scolds Ben for fighting with the neighbor's animals before locking the cage and walking away with the dead animal. The next morning, Adam brings up the dead animal at the dining table while talking to his daughters. He mentions the bite mark and says he will call the doctor to treat Ben. He also plans to send the mongoose for testing in case it carries any diseases. Adam reminds the girls not to open the cage until Ben is treated and fully recovered. After hugging them, he promises they will spend quality time together once he returns from work. Later that day, everyone relaxes and has fun. By evening, they sit and chat. Hannah flirts with Nick in Lucy's presence, making Lucy uncomfortable because she has feelings for him too. Kate vomits from drinking too much alcohol earlier, and Lucy helps her to the bedroom. Meanwhile, Hannah tells Nick that Lucy seems interested in him, but Nick says Lucy is like a little sister. Hannah leans in for a kiss, and Nick reciprocates, unaware that Lucy is painfully watching. We then see the doctor from earlier as he approaches the cage and greets Ben, leading to the same fatal incident. Kate later wakes up and goes outside for fresh air. While scrolling through her phone, she hears a noise. When she turns around to investigate, she sees a teddy bear on the table. Thinking one of the girls is playing a prank, she picks it up. Suddenly, Ben appears. Kate notices saliva covering his mouth and cautiously approaches, asking if everything is all right. Ben makes a strange sound that feels more threatening than friendly. Kate slowly backs away as the chimp advances toward her. She quickly shuts the door and calls for Lucy, who rushes over. Kate explains that something is wrong with Ben and recalls how strange he had been acting earlier. Lucy opens the door to inspect the room, but finds only the teddy bear on the floor. Upon closer inspection, she notices bloodstains on it. As she and Kate try to process how Ben escaped his cage, they hear Hannah and Nick screaming. Erin joins them, but Lucy tells her to stay back while she and Kate rush to the others. They find Ben acting wildly and completely out of control. Lucy tries calming him with soft words. As it begins to work, Nick carefully retrieves a rope from a basket. Just as he attempts to tie Ben up, the chimp attacks him. Lucy intervenes, takes the rope, and manages to calm Ben enough to tie it around his neck. Just when things seem under control, Hannah suggests using a gun to put the animal down. Lucy is horrified by the idea, and they begin arguing. Meanwhile, Kate calls the doctor to explain Ben's behavior, but they hear a phone ringing upstairs. That's when they realize the doctor is dead. Erin comes downstairs, and while everyone is distracted arguing, Ben breaks free and attacks her, sinking his teeth into her leg and tearing her skin as everyone screams. Nick shouts for everyone to jump into the pool, claiming the chimp can't swim. They immediately do so. Ben stands by, watching as Erin bleeds in the water. They apply pressure to her wound and swim to the far side of the pool to create distance. Hannah concludes that Ben has rabies after observing his symptoms. Erin panics at the possibility of infection, and they desperately try to find a way out to get her to a hospital. Suddenly, Ben climbs and lands on the other side of the pool, forcing them to retreat toward the cliff edge. Seeing this, Nick decides to push Ben off the edge. He swims toward him, and after a struggle, manages to shove him over. Nick celebrates too soon. Moments later, Ben reappears, drags Nick out of the pool, and slams him face first onto a rock. The others watch in horror, especially Kate. Ben climbs back up, looks at the girls, and begins laughing. With no other choice, the girls search for another escape route while Ben waits and watches from the opposite side. Lucy spots a life raft and decides they need it. She swims to the edge of the pool, climbs out cautiously, and carefully monitors the chimp's movements. She successfully retrieves the boat and gives it to the girls. Just then, she spots Kate's phone and decides to go get it. She walks quietly toward the phone, which is just a few feet away from Ben. Just as she gets close enough, the phone rings, and Ben becomes agitated. Ben prepares to attack Lucy, but Kate creates a diversion. Lucy quickly grabs the phone and runs for the pool, narrowly missing Ben's attack. The girls quickly try to make a call for help, but because of the cracked screen, the touchpad doesn't register their prints. They eventually manage to call someone from the recent calls list, and it turns out to be some party boys they met on the plane. The girls try to explain their situation, but the boys are too drunk to understand anything. Just then, Ben grabs Hannah's hair and pulls her up until it tears from her scalp, and she falls into the pool. The injury is minor and Hannah is fine, but the phone falls into the water and is completely fried. Meanwhile, Adam is at work signing his new book. He receives a text message from one of the doctors who says the mongoose from earlier has rabies. Adam doesn't believe the doctor because there hasn't been any news of rabies in Hawaii, and the doctor says she'll run another test. The girls eventually doze off in the pool, but Kate wakes up and realizes that Ben is no longer there. She informs the others, and Lucy decides to take the opportunity to get Nick's phone, recalling that she saw it in the living room. She prepares to go alone, but Kate joins her. They sneak upstairs and look around but see nothing. Eventually, they reach the living room and spot Nick's phone charging. Lucy goes to get it but mistakenly steps on the remote control, and the TV switches on with a loud noise. Ben hears the sound and rushes toward the location while the girls run into a closet just in time. Ben looks around but finds no one. When the TV makes another noise, he pounces on it. The girls are startled and Kate knocks down a basket, making a loud noise that attracts Ben's attention. Ben slowly walks toward the wardrobe as the girls stumble backward, hiding and holding their breath. Ben starts hitting the wardrobe, tearing at it, and pushing his face against the wood. He opens it and steps inside, searching for the source of the noise while the girls hide just inches away from Ben's bite. Eventually, he finds nothing and leaves the wardrobe, giving the girls a chance to catch their breath. When everything seems calm, Lucy steps out of the wardrobe and goes for the phone, but her relief is short-lived when the chimpanzee uses the soundboard to say, "Lucy." Bad, repeatedly. Lucy turns and sees the chimp hanging from a ceiling. It lunges at her, knocking the phone out of her hand and beating her. Kate immediately grabs something and hits Ben, causing him to fall off as the two girls run out of the living room. They make it to the door and manage to close it in time. Ben tries to open it, but Kate stops him. He then steps back and charges at the glass, crashing through it. The girls run, but Ben grabs Kate's leg, causing her to fall down the stairs and hit her head. As she tries to gather herself, Ben sits on her and starts pummeling her with a stone as Lucy watches in horror. The chimpanzee then turns his attention to Lucy and attacks her. Hannah jumps out of the pool, grabs a rope, ties it around the chimp, and pulls on it. Ben shifts his focus to Hannah, and Lucy takes the chance to jump into the pool with her. They both pull on the rope, trying to drag Ben into the water, noting that animals with rabies are afraid of water. They nearly succeed, but Ben taps into his strength and pulls the rope out of their hands, causing the plan to fail. Meanwhile, Adam grows worried about his kids and keeps texting them. He is about to seal a major deal at work, but he chooses his children's safety as a bigger priority and leaves the meeting. Back at the apartment, the boys from the airport eventually arrive, looking drunk and high. They are more interested in partying and begin searching for the girls. They split up, with one going upstairs and the other downstairs. The guy upstairs reaches Lucy's room and makes himself comfortable. He notices a photo of Lucy and Ben and wonders who would keep a chimpanzee as a pet. Just then, Ben appears. The guy is startled but tries to play it cool. He makes monkey noises and jingles his car keys, anything to get the chimp out of his face. Ben holds him down and climbs on top of him. The guy starts shouting threats, but Ben grabs his mouth and tears it off his face. He then mocks him with an expression that seems to say, "You talk too much." The second guy eventually finds the girls in the swimming pool and calls out to them. Lucy sees him and tries to warn him to be quiet, or the chimp will come for him. The guy is too high to understand what they are saying, and just then the chimp appears. The guy stumbles backward as Ben approaches. He finds a shovel and tries to attack. Meanwhile, Hannah takes advantage of the distraction and climbs out of the pool. She runs past Ben, who is attacking the guy. Hannah manages to grab Nick's phone and the car keys and runs outside to her car. She gets inside and smiles in relief. Unfortunately, when she tries to start the car, the keyhole doesn't accept the key. That's when she realizes she is in the wrong car. She attempts to move to the other car, but Ben is already there. Fearing for her life, she quietly retreats inside and locks the door. Ben grins and raises his hand to show he has the keys to the car she is in. He unlocks it, and Hannah quickly locks it again. She immediately calls the police for help, but they respond slowly. They ask for her location, but she doesn't know the exact address. She explains that a rabid chimpanzee is killing everyone and tells them to track her call. Just then, the trunk opens. Frozen with fear, Hannah turns and sees Ben beside her. Before she can react, the chimp pulls her back and brutally attacks her. Back at the pool, Erin's condition worsens as she shakes violently in the water. Her sister tries to comfort her, and after gathering enough courage, Lucy steps out of the pool to get help. As she walks across the broken glass without looking, a shard impales her leg, and she screams. Realizing the danger, she quietly removes it, and just then, the chimp appears beside her. She crawls away in panic as Ben approaches. Just as he is about to attack her again, he hears a car engine and runs away. Adam arrives home and walks straight into the building. He is completely deaf and cannot hear anything. He searches the house, calling for the girls, but no one answers. Ben appears behind him, ready to pounce, but Lucy intervenes, causing Ben to chase her instead. All of this happens without Adam realizing anything. Adam continues searching and enters Lucy's room, where he finds the lifeless body of the party guest. Meanwhile, Lucy keeps running, but is eventually tackled. Ben suddenly acts calm, and when Lucy lets her guard down, he snaps her hand. She screams and punches his wound. Ben releases her, and she crawls under the bed, but the chimp follows. Suddenly, a voice calls out. Lucy sees Erin challenging the chimp. Erin runs, and Ben chases her. He catches her, beating and scratching her back while she screams. Lucy tackles Ben away from Erin and fights him, but he eventually overpowers her. Ben prepares to rip off Lucy's mouth, but Adam enters and whistles at the chimp, causing him to stop. Ben faces Adam, and they struggle. Adam lands a few blows, but the chimp bites his leg and knocks him down. The chimp begins pummeling Adam, but Adam manages to hit Ben with a bottle and stab him with a broken shard. Ben keeps punching until he loses his strength and collapses. Adam pushes the monkey off and reunites with his daughters. As they hug, Ben gets back up and attacks again, but Lucy notices in time and pushes everyone aside, taking the attack herself. Ben's force sends both him and Lucy over the edge, but Lucy is caught by her father, while Ben falls to his death. Eventually, the police arrive, and medics take Aaron to the hospital. What kind of pet do you have, and what would your chances of survival be if it were infected with rabies? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more movies like this. See you in the next one.